Test.
Our silent god finally speaks, demanding faith, demanding death.
No. If it demanded death, then I wouldn't be here. The Traveler brought us together. That's not nothing. That's not death. I knew the moment I found you that we were made of the same stuff. Part of you called to a part of me. Nothing can break that. I've seen you at your lowest moment. But Hakim died. bring him back. You wanted to give up the light. You raised your gun.
I'm sorry.
I understood. I was grieving too. If we could get through that, then we can get through anything. Whatever you need to do, I'll be with you. Start to finish. That's what the Traveler wants from us.
You keep me steady, Tarj. When no one else can.
That's what I was made for. And it's what I want to do. Let's go, Commander. You've got a mission to lead.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. The English biologist Thomas Huxley once wrote, "To a person uninstructed in natural history, his country or seaside stroll is a walk through a gallery filled with wonderful works of art, 9/10 of which have their faces turned to the wall. Teach him something of natural history, and you place in his hands a catalogue of those which are worth turning around." To some, the wonders and intricacies of the natural world are a miracle, living proof of the existence of God. To others, the natural world is a wondrous illustration of Darwinian evolution. To discuss the complexities of plant and animal life, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick and award-winning writer.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Carl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a man with a head like a fucking orange.
Right.
Natural history obviously takes in everything to do with animals, plants, bacteria, which are in neither group. I should start by just saying, Carl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. Conservatively, there's 2 million species of animals. I mean, without even taking in plant life, there are at least 2 million species of animal. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking any mysteries.
Well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural cure for everything out there.
Because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Yeah.
Do
you
want to just expand on that point? It's just that's what they do in tribes. They've got all natural. All these tribes, they've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig, and it works. I've seen it. They've sent women out there, and they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff.
It wasn't an in-depth analysis, was it?
What I'm saying...
Women, they just sent some women out there.
No,
Apparently.
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it, that's useful. You probably know about all them. Because
it doesn't make any sense. We probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters, but they go, right, we're aware of them, let them get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised?
I'd be surprised if there was something...
It sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're discovering new species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to, we live in a world now. We do, we know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a
ladybird.
natural thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new
thing.
thing. It's
Yeah,
new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? I mean, evolutionary terms, there's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
But why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think there's someone in the 1900s. Said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that,
Right.
that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need
Yeah,
it.
but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
His
one of-
PR people
In one
did.
of those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And that's... and they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed... Remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put
yeah,
bread
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shape it like
Necessity
that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
Found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Yeah, but all you're really doing, Carl, is modifying an existing invention.
What other examples of being pipped at the post are there? It's got to be one that hasn't been done, or it's not your theory,
But also something that unlocks a mystery.
or helps the world.
What's causing problems in the world that needs sorting?
Cures for things. Faster transport. Anything to do with security. Anything to do with well-being.
I mean, obviously environmental concerns are a big issue. People trying to design automobiles that can
Fuel.
run on different
Yeah.
alternative fuels.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their design a car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was
built
about
into the
9,
scene.
and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school. Oh, I need the toilet. Wouldn't it be good?
Well,
if
why
this-
hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign saying 36 miles.
So what?
You're in agony.
So you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back,
She's got one as well.
so you are going to Cornwall all shitting.
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also, at
Where
what
do you
point
wash
do
your
you
hands?
wash your hands or
Yeah.
wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
Oh,
At the
that's
end of
a-
the journey.
Oh God! So you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. Do you need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. There's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10 minutes, Rick, that takes, doesn't it? 10
I know,
minutes
yeah.
to
10
pull off, have
minutes.
a quick shit.
Driving along. It's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on, everyone's happy. Doesn't matter. I don't know, I mean, we all do it as well, that's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with? I mean, so far you've come up with nothing. That was a 9-year-old boy's idea.
I mean, the Breville maker wasn't needed.
That's true.
What's the Breville maker?
Like toasted sandwiches. So many things, chocolate fountains, anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
Think of computers.
What about them?
Well, I mean, that's in the last few years. You know, 100 years in our existence. Okay, they've been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information, be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Carl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, we've got them, steering wheel up there. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Carl,
the sand.
but that as an explanation to human genius is nearly as ridiculous as the Adam and Eve explaining life on Earth. How could you tell that to someone without going red? I mean, I always worry about that, where people who believe in Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
Yeah,
right?
but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he sat at home going, should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah, but that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now, it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from apes, or rather, we had a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. Genetically speaking.
I just find that hard to believe when you
Well,
look
I'm
at
telling you it's true, so what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes, your own eyes are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No, no. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No,
Two,
but what I'm saying is,
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things and make up your own decisions.
So if there was no Darwin or anything,
Yeah.
and I was sat somewhere and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in, one of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
Alright, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, right? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there, and a gorilla, and what's another one? Orangutan.
Right.
Yeah. Right, I go, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go, so he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
Right, so the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no air.
Go.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Right.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a good guess,
humanness.
but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic
that
makeup.
must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Animal rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? How do they compare to humans? You know, it's a well-known fact that we test on animals with the assumption that humans are more important. We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals, right? They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than... yeah, exactly. You know, I think that comes again from how close are they to humans? Have they got a face?
But that's
are they furry?
I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it once.
Well, two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot, sort of, you know, pinching her arms and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait
not
a minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never heard
true.
this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure I
monkeys?
told
We've
you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before.
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I've told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had like odd, sort of pets, and
When?
that, didn't they? In like about 68.
Oh,
In
1968, when everyone had a monkey.
But you had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
yeah, my dad told me about it when he found out that I was into monkeys. He said, "Oh, Benny thumped one." And
Benny, that's right. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly singing variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, "You thump a monkey."
Yes, they do. They do go. You thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
What, this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human, I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
Then
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, "That's unfair." Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You go,
They-
"It was better when I was pushing a piano up the stairs."
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going. You know, at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. It's cool to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cool to keep a monkey.
Are you aware, Carl, that 99% of all forms of life that have existed on Earth are now extinct?
So there's only 1% of everything that's ever been still alive.
Yeah.
So that's just as well, isn't it?
Why?
Well, I think it's pretty crowded now. So it's just as well. You see, this is what I'm saying now. Years ago, they accepted that. Cavemen wouldn't have been going, "Oh, we're losing stuff's dying." Whereas now, everyone's, "Oh, the panda, polar bears, not got any eggs," and all that. At the end of the day, the world's only so big. We know it's not getting any bigger. Right? Stuff's got to die, hasn't it? You can't keep everything.
Just think of that, though, as a tool of natural selection. That the species that are surviving today are 1%. Just how amazing that is to survive and evolve. How perfect everything is on Earth. It's amazing.
No, but it'll drop off again, won't it? As we find new stuff, other stuff will be dying.
Well,
In
things
that
that happen.
1%, when that was written, when that statement was made, was the dodo gone or was it still here?
It was.
I'm pretty
it
sure
was
the
gone.
dodo was gone.
It was gone already.
It doesn't matter though, does it? A percentage is a percentage.
Yeah, the dodo went. The last dodo died. They said
Yeah.
that was the last dodo. No
Yeah.
more dodos. But we found
It's Dido. Still making great
Great
tunes.
albums, great albums.
But,
Although
yeah, we lost the Dodo, but we've got Dido.
a recent album's not sold very well, actually.
I've heard it's
dying
doo-doo.
out.
I've
Dying
heard
out.
it's-
Everything
yeah.
has a lifespan.
Dido's dying out.
But and I think that's life. So it's not amazing, really.
That's
that
not on
is-
either anymore.
No, that's not either. That's Life's Gone.
That's gone.
That was good.
What else?
Esther Ranson forced to just hang out in the jungle. now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
When I went to Natural History Museum, there was a thing called a Cytherea or something. Well, it died out ages ago. No one knows about it, which is weird because everyone knows about the dodo.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because it died out in, I think, was it the 18th century or something, wasn't it?
Well, within what might term recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this thing's sort of. I don't think it was far behind it. It's just timing, isn't it? That got more press, the dodo. The Cytherea, or whatever it's called. It was a big thing. It was
Well,
a cross.
you've seen it and you still don't know what it's called.
Well, it's spelled awkwardly. But it's but they said it was a cross between a moose and a giraffe. Now we don't need that, do we? At no point have we said, "Do you know what we need here to get us through this?"
Well, that's funny because when they first named the giraffe, they called it the camelopard because they thought it was a cross between a camel and a leopard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when zoologists examined a platypus for the first time, some of them thought it might have been a hoax, because they thought it could have been different parts of different animals sewn together. Because the platypus has the fur of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the bill and feet of a duck, and the venomous spurs of a fighting gamecock. So they assumed that it
It's
must
like
have
a
been a
scrap
hoax.
heap challenge of animals.
Yeah, I remember, right?
But they actually...
Sorry, go on,
say,
sorry.
well, just to clarify that, it actually is descended from a link between reptiles and mammals almost 150 million years ago, a sort of living fossil.
When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciative.
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This
Right.
animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
perfect sense.
Roar, it looks good. Roar, bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino. Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah, yeah.
So a
the
scorpion that's the
so
size
it
of a
didn't-
rhinoceros.
Exactly, so the tail was as long as that lion. So now
Right.
this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It
the
would have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone
Yeah,
other
my
than
mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Carl? What would you, how would you, though, what would, if you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't
But
think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay. So that's as big as you can be now then. So you can't really pop on a lion's head because it'd just lay there going, I can't fucking move.
All right. I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah. Why? Come on. Why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah.
isn't it? With
Okay.
a cat and a dog and all that.
Okay.
So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How
Yeah.
is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the sludge.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on, though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going, "Hoo," right? You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the
survival?
head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's go
Why
on
has
then.
it got the sludge? Why
Because
is that so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck, like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
not have a
the stuff.
limpet then?
But it
No.
can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go and
get
just go
anywhere.
and kick it.
What do
Just
you mean
this-
it can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, because
What, that's the
it'll
worst
lock itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
It's
just
the
so
worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
do-
what
what,
peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that, and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. It'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
Now
it's
got
mainly
problems.
made as to be on walls. 'Cause what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
But nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and
Fucking
again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was, I think. That's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense.
Gobbledygook.
Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? It can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat
Yeah,
it.
but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It'd
making
always be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on?
I've
That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
It's
again,
no
got
use-
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
If scientists could bring back to life the creatures that have existed in the past, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Bad idea?
Yeah.
Now, leaving aside the horrors of Jurassic Park, do you think for research purposes it might be a useful idea?
I don't think it is. For me, it's like a friends reunited. It's like people who you knew ages ago getting back in touch, and you go, I don't want to get in touch with you. That was then, and it's the same with a mammoth. That was then. You had your day. It didn't work out. Now to bring it back, it's unfair. You're messing with nature anyway. I think I've said to you before about I don't know what they do with them. They're massive things. I think it's like they're just not thinking about it. It's like rushing into buying furniture. That's massive, and then you get it back and you can't get it through the door.
No,
And it'll be like that with a mammoth. Where are we putting them? Oh, I didn't think of that.
But what about if you could say you could feed the third world with mammoth meat?
Away from me.
But what's wrong with we've got loads of cows and stuff.
Let anything stop him.
Why do they need a mammoth? No one even knows what it tastes like. Imagine that. You bring it back and you've got another dodo on your hands.
No,
People go,
but-
this is horrible.
Well, they used to eat them because they, again, what humans found out
Blame her.
is they could take down a mammoth, but they got greedy and they found out they could chase them, and so they'd go over the edge of a cliff. And what they did, they went crazy and they used to herd them, and they'd all die. But of course, then they'd waste the meat because they couldn't eat it all.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's why we shouldn't bring them back because they are too big. So even if
Didn't
you
hear a word of what you said then. Didn't hear a word.
no, I did. Everyone can eat them, but the problem is they're so big that you couldn't eat it quick enough, so it all went off.
Yeah, but I was saying that they killed too many at once.
Yeah, I know.
He
No,
doesn't know
I
what
heard
you're
that.
talking about.
I heard that. But what I'm saying is, why not bring back an animal that's smaller, manageable for everyone?
Yeah.
That's why the chicken is perfect. Out of all the animals, perfect. Good size, feeds a family of 4. Whilst it's alive, it's giving you eggs.
I agree.
And it tastes nice.
But it doesn't if you think it's not having a good life. If suddenly said to me, I stopped eating it because I found out about how badly they were treated like 10 years ago, and at least I have organic. And honestly, eating an animal that's been tortured doesn't taste nice. Foie gras would make me vomit. The thought of it, the evil involved in torturing a goose because the liver tastes slightly better. I mean, where does it end?
I think if they're looked after, they don't want to die. The ones in a nice warm little, hut, being fed lovely food, you're going, right, we're going to cut your head off, and they're probably like, oh, God, I'm going to miss this. I'm loving this life. Whereas the one sat in its own shit's going, have me first, I'm sick of it. There's different ways of looking at it.
Good point. So what you're saying is, give animals a bad life, torture them, and they'll be happy when you eat them. Brilliant.
But we've ordered we've ordered a turkey.
Right.
It's way too big. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. And it's worrying me now, actually. It'll be nice on Christmas Day, but it's my job to look after the kitchen and everything, tidy up. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it all.
The fact that he's been given a job to make him worthwhile, really, it's like a little home.
No, but a chicken, your chicken...
Arthur, you're washing up today, aren't you? Yeah, Arthur's job.
And that's the problem with a mammoth. I think the idea of it's probably quite pleasant. You go, oh, that's something new to try out. But afterwards, when you've got to tidy it up and stick it in cling film, you'll be going, how much of this have we got? So I wouldn't bring back the mammoth.
Brilliant.
Charles Darwin, of course, once said, I cannot persuade myself that a beneficent and omnipotent God would have created parasitic wasps with the express intention of their feeding within the living bodies of caterpillars. His point being that, creatures and their reproductive cycles are so complicated, so intricate, so bizarre, that alone is proof of the non-existence of God. Where do you stand on that?
It's pretty weird. We talked about it ages ago, didn't we, about the wasp that has a thing growing in it and all that.
Lays its egg in a spider.
Yeah, and then the spider goes mad, doesn't it?
You fucking cunt, laying your eggs in me, you fucking stripy wanker. Goes absolutely fucking mad.
It is weird.
I'm gonna have a wasp going out my arse in a couple of what you fucking...
I don't know how it found out that that's what it had to do. That's the amazing thing, isn't it?
Well, it didn't, did it?
It just did it.
No, I know, but when I say found out, I mean it just did it.
Well, it's like mimicry, when they say mimicry, that there's a poisonous snake, and then a snake comes along that looks a bit like it that's not poisonous, but people go, oh, careful, it's poisonous. That snake didn't go, I'm gonna strain, and I'm gonna try and look like Scary over there. Some were born that looked a bit like Scary, and they survived.
Yeah, I know.
It's just being chosen.
But that's changing now, isn't it? The fact that, like, when them frogs came out, that are dangerous, they were just dangerous.
What frogs came out? But
There's some frogs in a jungle somewhere that were like pretty dangerous.
New from Mattel, dangerous frogs in the jungle.
yeah.
But people didn't know that they were dangerous, and they were going about killing loads of stuff. Anyway,
They weren't going. No, they don't go around killing loads of stuff.
nature said, "This is a bit unfair. Make them orange." So then the frogs that were orange were dangerous, but you got a warning. It was a bit more fair. Nature said, if they're going to go about being dangerous, make them orange, make them stand out. In a jungle, orange stands out in all the green, right? So people went, there's an orange frog, stay away. Then over time, nature went, right, what's happened here now? Everyone knows the orange frog's dangerous. Birds aren't eating it because they know it's dangerous. People are avoiding it. They don't even need the poison, it's just the orange it needs. So now you've got a load of frogs that are orange, not even deadly. But people go, is that a deadly orange one, or is it a friendly one? Well, best to leave it.
Again, he's explained my point, but took 30 times as long over
But
it.
also-
No, but
in his
listen,
head-
let me finish what I was going to say. But what's interesting with all that is, evolution has taught stuff to lie. Because that orange frog isn't deadly, it's going about like it's the big I am.
Yeah.
You could squash it with your hand, you can't do anything. But evolution
It's swaggering around.
it's made it lie. So lying is part of evolution.
But it's not lying, is it?
What do you mean?
Wow.
It's got no
But the
poison.
interesting thing about, like a toad that secretes a poison is that often it's no good for it as an individual, but it's good for the species as a whole, because someone will come along and chew it. Now, that toad might well die, but that fox is sick, and it doesn't eat another one. So it's sort of saving the species.
Yeah, but at the same time, the dodo tasted rubbish. Everybody said,
Yeah,
don't eat one
we
of them
don't know
again.
that. We
Back to
don't
the
know that.
dodo.
We
No,
don't know that.
No,
there's no evidence.
I have read it. I've read that they don't taste very nice. But it didn't
Why
stop
doesn't it
dying
taste
out.
very nice?
It's
Why
just in the same way that chicken's nicer than duck. You can't all have nice tasting flesh. Pork's alright, but I prefer beef.
Point proven. Good night.
So what I'm saying is, with the dodo, it did taste horrible, but everyone wanted to give it a go. Meanwhile, it's different people trying it, so it died out in the end anyway. So your theory of a frog being poisonous and a fox going, yeah, that's horrible, I won't eat another one of them. Then you get another fox trying one, and another fox. They don't all have a word with each other, do they? They go, I had a rotten frog the other night. So it's pointless. It's a pointless exercise.
What I like is your image of nature. This idea that sort of, in your head, there's Mother Nature sat around like a boardroom table,
Yeah.
making these decisions. People are coming in, oi, frog, what's been going on? Well, I've been poisoning people. Why? What about you? It's just, you just picture everything as one large
Your
reasoned...
confusion is that you still think of evolution as a will. You still believe that things are striving to be something else, as opposed to surviving if they adapt or change. I just want to go through some of the wonderful diversity of nature, some of the incredible feats of the animal kingdom, in a way. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Alligators and old people have something in common. They can hear notes only up to 4,000 vibrations a second.
I don't know what you're meant to do with that information. When's that ever come in handy? When a band's getting together, they don't go, no, we're after crocodiles and old people. What sort of tune do they like? It's pointless.
You're not impressed, okay. Scientists have applied electrodes to the pleasure centre in a rat's brain. The rat pressed a lever 48,000 times over a full day in order to receive that shock that seemed to him pleasurable, choosing the simulator instead of having water or food or sex. So it chose that virtual pleasure, well, not virtual pleasure, it gave it real pleasure, but an artificial stimulus rather than the real thing, like food or water
It
or
never
sex.
ate and had water. It never had a change.
No, it was addicted. It loved this electrode. It was giving it. It just made it feel good. It was getting as much pleasure from that as the real thing, from sex or food.
Yeah, but with any pleasure, you get sick of it, don't you? If you have too much of it.
Well, it had 48,000 hits in a day.
But I like having a Twix. But if I have more than 4 a week, I go, I've ruined that little pleasure I used to like.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what did he do the second day?
No,
Did he go
but
near the machine the second day?
No.
There you go then.
No. But what you're saying is this, right? That Twix is failing to give you pleasure on that 5th Twix But this succeeds every time, because it's literally pleasure. It hits the part of the brain that says this is pleasurable.
So,
But
my pleasure nerve that you're talking about in my head, it lights up when I have Twix.
I don't think it ever lights up.
Right.
I don't think you've got a pleasure nerve.
But it lights up when I have a Twix.
Right.
It lights up if there's some chicken, right? It lights
Fuck
up if
me.
there's a,
What a miserable cunt he is.
all loads of things.
Chicken and Twix.
That's it.
No.
That's all he lives for.
No.
Hang yourself, mate.
So, what you're saying is, if I had that device that the rat's got,
Yeah.
I'd just sit there, wouldn't I, hitting it, thinking, I can't be bothered going to the shop for a Twix, I'll just hit this button.
Yeah. Think of this. So aggressive is the horned frog of Argentina that people believe that if the frog bites the lip of a horse, the horse will die. Actually, the frog's mouth contains no poison. It earned its fearsome reputation because it attacks animals many times its size. What do you think of a frog
It's
attacking
ridiculous.
a horse?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that would happen. Why is it getting upset with a horse? Of all the things for a frog to be like getting cocky with, them two should never even meet.
Why?
Because it's not. I mean, fights are normally over something, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you have a fight with someone, you're in my yard, or you
Yeah.
know, you're fighting over something. A horse
I
and a
love the fact
frog.
that he immediately goes back to the 1930s.
Yeah.
You're in my yard.
But a horse and a frog. How did that disagreement
What are they squabbling
happen?
over?
I don't understand what they've got in common. I don't understand it. I bet that's only happened once. It's a rare incident. Someone's put that in a book. I can't imagine it. That's happening a lot. That horses are being bit by frogs all over the shop.
Oh, God! I saw this trailer
I've got an idea.
for this documentary that said the man who's having a baby,
More of them. All over this place.
and I turned on, and it's a woman going through a sex change, and she's pregnant.
What I do,
That's not a man having a baby.
establish a rapport.
That's a woman having a beard.
Having a breakdown.
Why is that? That's a con. That is pure sense. It's a man having a baby. Look, the world's first. No, it's a woman. It's a woman. What do you think of that? What would you do if you were a doctor? And I came to you and went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm gonna get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What's this not why we cover them though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you hate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. Right. So, are you thinking fundamentally then that aesthetically the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than...
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology...
You need, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
Yeah.
Otherwise the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feeds the semen and all that. So, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them. Wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that makes you feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that they were just, then you dropped them, it's like, right, we need to cool them down, be at it in about half an hour,
Yeah.
drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they could detach and you could put them in the fridge.
Yeah. Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Just, how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Just that sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop, though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks, I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them in the middle of my chest. I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it round the back, I can't see what's going on. Pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
Rick, I know you're a big fan of Professor Richard Dawkins, the evolutionary biologist. He wrote a book, The Ancestor's Tale, in which he predicted a post-human world. This was his kind of hypothesis, if we were well, let me read what he's written. If nuclear war destroys humanity and most of the rest of life, a good bet for survival in the short term and for evolutionary ancestry in the long term is rats. I have a post-Armageddon vision. We and all the other large animals are gone. Rodents emerge as the ultimate post-human scavengers. They gnaw their way through New York, London and Tokyo, digesting spilled larders, ghost supermarkets and human corpses, and turning them into new generations of rats and mice, whose racing populations explode out of the cities and into the countryside. When all the relics of human profligacy are eaten, populations crash again and the rodents turn on each other, and on the cockroaches scavenging with them. In a period of intense competition, short generations perhaps with radioactivity-enhanced mutation rates boost rapid evolution. With human ships and planes gone, islands become islands again, with local populations isolated, save for occasional lucky raftings. Ideal conditions for evolutionary divergence. Within 5 million years, a whole range of new species replace the ones we know. Herds of giant grazing rats are stalked by saber-toothed predatory rats. Given enough time, will a species of intelligent cultivated rats emerge? Will rodent historians and scientists eventually organise careful archaeological digs and through the strata of our long compacted cities reconstruct the peculiar and temporally tragic circumstances that gave ratkind its big break?
Carl, thoughts?
I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, that's about it for the second in the series of the Ricky Gervais Guide 2. That was Natural History.
I think we've left no stone unturned there, Rick.
I think that is a definitive work. If you've enjoyed the Ricky Gervais Guide to Natural History, why not go back and listen to the Ricky Gervais Guide to Medicine, if you haven't already, or if you have, because it'd be revision. You know what I mean?
There will be a test.
There won't be a test.
There won't be a test.
We can't be bothered.
No.
And next in the series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Arts. Look forward to that.
So just to clarify, that's the arts.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the arse.
Sorry, just
the
the way you speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you should never go away. People speak your words all.
Yeah, well, no, but just be clear.
Well, no, but you
be clear.
clearly you're not being clear, aren't you? You're making dumb, bumbling fool. And we won't even get on to Carl Pilkington. Dopey twat. Anyway, thank you very much from me, Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. To some, society is a cage, trapping and oppressing free-thinking individuals. But to others, society offers essential structure and regulation, preventing anarchy and the worst excesses of human behaviour. Each society has its own codes of conduct, ways of doing things. But who decides these social norms, and how are they governed? From the formative democracy of ancient Greece to the communist totalitarianism of Soviet Russia, history has shown us that there are as many forms of society as there are people to populate them. To discuss society and our place within it, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick.
Hello.
and Carl Pilkington. You know the score. Little, round-headed twat.
Right.
In ancient Greece, every year 500 people would be selected from that Grecian society, and they would have to sit there that year, and they would propose laws, and everyone else would vote on them, and that was their obligation. They were obliged to be one of that 500, if they, a bit like jury duty, called up, and then they had to propose their ideas, and then the rest of the citizens voted on it. Now, if you're in that position, all right, you're called up, what rules and laws are you instigating?
You might go, right, I want an egalitarian society. I want freedom for people. I don't want slavery. I don't want any sort of oppression. Would that be high on your list?
Well, you could say, you know, when I worked at Cordon Bleu, there was times when I thought, being treated like a slave here.
You weren't though, because you were being
definitely
paid
weren't
and you
a
were
slave.
free. So.
Definitely
What
weren't a
do you
slave.
mean? I wasn't free. I was on like from 9 till 6.
Yeah, you had the choice to leave the job. Slaves didn't have the choice to leave. They
Yeah,
go, they wouldn't go. They go.
I didn't have any
actually,
choice.
Actually, Mr. Jackson, I'm thinking of leaving
No.
your employment.
No, 'cause they
The
knew-
money's no good,
No.
and I don't like the
Not like that.
dwellings.
No,
They didn't have that choice.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you did.
The only
yeah.
other choice was Tesco, and they'd already turned me down.
No, that's not. That
So I had
wasn't.
no choice,
That
that's
wasn't.
why.
That wasn't the lack of choice given to most
But the slaves who built the pyramids, that wasn't an option for them. It wasn't like they could
No.
go and, well, I could get a better gig on the Sphinx.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, you're not saying anything. You're saying absolute drivel again.
Here's a little Greek proverb for you. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in.
What do you think of that? That's amazing.
Can you say it again?
Say it again.
A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. Do you understand?
Yeah, just saying. They're planting a seed. They grow a tree, but trees take ages.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
That old fella's not going to get any joy out of that.
Right.
But if he's lucky,
Yeah.
the fella next door might have done the same years ago. So it's all about sort of planting a seed, looking after each other.
That's great, actually. It's not. I don't think it's directly
it's
what
almost,
it means.
It's almost the point.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he means that future generations. But yeah, if the next door neighbour had done that, then yeah, that works as well.
But you seem to agree that that's a good point. Do you agree that seems a good point to you?
But I'm sort of guessing he enjoyed gardening anyway. Part of the enjoyment was in planting that seed.
we shouldn't have-
It's the old metaphor problem again, isn't
I know,
it?
yeah.
It's not specifically about trees. You know, you plant the tree, as you say, and you may never see the beauty of or the benefit of that tree, but other people will.
But as a metaphor, what he enjoyed is the fact that he's added to society and human life, and he's got a legacy and all that.
But
so
by the same time, when I went to Ibiza, right, now there they have motorbikes, people flying round on them, people don't wear helmets. You might even get 3 people on a moped. I saw a farmer with a goat in a basket. They don't care. They're whizzing around at high speeds. A lot of deaths there.
Yeah.
And they'll have a lot of those areas where someone's come off, been killed, people put flowers there.
Yeah.
And because that happens a lot, it's a lovely green island. Now here, we're saying
Whoa, whoa,
wear an
whoa,
helmet.
whoa,
you're saying that all the deaths make it nice because
It
there's
makes it
flowers.
lovely.
Because there's loads of flowers
So
everywhere.
with death comes beauty. So that's another metaphor, you can have that one.
That was one of the most
Now-
tortuous things I've ever... That was extraordinary.
But look at London.
That was extraordinary, Carl.
Right, Carl.
Well, look at London,
but
though.
there's
Let me
another
finish my point.
Let him finish his point. Let him finish. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
Right, London, councillor with his clipboard, need a speed bump here, I saw someone doing 35. Put some traffic lights there and a pedestrian crossing. Pelican crossing there as well. And a speed camera.
Right.
Horrible and grey.
Okay.
No flowers.
But you still see flowers left behind where people have died in terrible accidents.
They're not
You see
many
that
good
all the
ones.
time.
They're stuck to a lamppost with an elastic band round them. They don't look nice.
He's knowing the quality of flowers. Yeah, but the point is,
Wow.
the point is
Some 15-year-old got run down and you're disappointed at the quality of the flowers.
Look at this, Suzanne. Fella lost his head here. Geraniums? Geraniums? Fella lost bloody head.
Well, that's
So we have
that's
to,
funny
we
you
have to
say that,
encourage
though.
gun crime so that people will get shot in inner cities and then we can put flowers up and beautify the area. Is that
No,
what
but
you're
if an
saying?
area's nicer to look in, nicer to be in, if it's nicer looking, you don't get people speeding around like lunatics. Because they go, I'm not in a rush, I'd quite like to slow down
This
there and
is
look
so
at the flowers.
complicated. So now what you're saying is because an area is grey and gloomy, people speed around to get out of it. In the course of doing that, they knock people down. But then flowers are put up, which then makes the area beautiful, thus stopping people driving around at speed so death no longer occurs.
Well, they're cute to getting out of their cars to put down flowers. And
they get knocked down.
Yeah.
By other people on their way to put some flowers down.
Yeah.
Just sometimes people have to die, don't they? There was a fella outside our house who hit a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
You made me laugh at a man's head coming up because the way you said it.
But that's the thing.
he had a, oh God! There's a man outside a house. He had a lamppost, he had a helmet on, but his head come off.
So you're saying that because in that one instance, the helmet did not save his life.
His head was in great condition. It's just not attached to his body. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people have to die. How far do you take all this stuff of you know, safety gear and slowing down and wear bright clothes at night? And it's just too much.
Very important point, you see. We give people crash helmets, we give them, you know, seat belts, we make them wear that, right? Do you think that's right for a start? Do you think someone should be made to wear a crash helmet? They're only hurting themselves.
Crash helmet. I don't think you should get fined for not wearing one. But then if you come off a motorbike and you hurt your head and you didn't have a helmet on, then you can't sort of go, well, they should have had speed bumps there. I didn't realise we were going too fast.
Don't forget, we're not just protecting him. He could be a father with 2 kids. So you're going, oh, let him, if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him get brain damage. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, we're over the top in this country.
No, but
when it comes to that sort of
you're
thing.
saying no, if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him not wear a crash helmet. He doesn't wear a crash helmet. He comes off his bike, he smacks his head in. He's a vegetable. He's like that, sitting at home like that. And yet the 2 little kids come to you. You're in charge. Don't forget. We put you in charge of society here, and they come to you. 2 little kids. They go, President Pilkington, why did you let my daddy not wear the crash helmet?
I didn't. We put leaflets through the door. We had adverts on the telly, Sunshine.
Yeah, but why?
It's your dad's fault.
But why wasn't it compulsory? Because he wanted.
It's not the world we live in, Sonny.
Yeah, now I haven't got a daddy.
Has he got an helmet at all? Have you seen an helmet knocking about?
No, he's a vegetable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to wear a crash helmet, but why didn't you make him wear a crash helmet? It wasn't just him, it was us. Why did you let him get vegetable?
Where's your mum?
Mum left, and he kept going on about not wearing a crash helmet.
We'll put you in a home. I just think, you see, this is the problem. Everyone's looking for someone to blame.
Yes, but this is interesting though because you were particularly callous to that little 4-year-old boy. He seemed so sweet and adorable.
Yeah.
But why wasn't he giving this stick to his dad?
But his
His
dad's
dad's a
dead. He's a
vegetable.
vegetable.
He's dead.
He's good as dead to him.
His dad went within the law. It was not the law to wear a crash helmet anymore because you said, forget it, I don't want a nanny state. I don't want... If you wear a crash helmet or not. He wasn't a responsible parent. He hadn't thought it through. But this is your job. Some people aren't responsible. Society keeps them on track. This was you were in charge. You should have made him wear a crash helmet. He had 2 kids.
We've heard from one of the kids. What's the other one's attitude? Is he younger?
He's a bit younger.
Is he even younger still?
Yeah.
President Pilkington.
Oh.
My brother's crying now because you shouted at him. I wish you'd have made my daddy wear a crash helmet.
Why didn't you make your daddy wear a crash helmet?
Well, he wouldn't listen to me because I'm not in charge.
He didn't
of
listen to
society.
me. He seems like a bit of a numbnut, to be
No, he
honest.
did listen to you.
What did he
because
do
you made
for a
a new
living?
rule saying people don't have to
Right.
wear crash helmets.
Right. What?
And he listened to you.
Did he pop shoes on in the morning when he went out? Or did
Yeah.
I need to be here to tell him to do that as well?
No, there's certain
Oh, so he
things
has got
just-
some common sense then.
Well, there's stuff, yeah,
Oh,
but-
right, interesting. So he can be bothered with his trainers, but he can be bothered with helmet.
No, I haven't got a daddy.
Jesus.
Wow, you are cruel to this kid. You
It's
are
just,
mean-spirited
all
to
I'm
this
saying
kid.
is, there should be a leaflet.
I don't even know how he got in number 10, this little kid.
The thing is,
But he's got in. You should have at least a courtesy to listen to his point.
forget all, I'm sick and tired of having adverts on the telly. Don't smoke, wear an helmet, slow down, watch your kidneys, look after your
I
liver.
haven't seen that one.
Now, I don't know why. Why can't they just put a leaflet through saying, hello everyone, use your common sense?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
because-
That's what I take
Because
out
some
of
people don't
president.
have common sense.
Everyone's
Some
got
people
common
are
sense.
fucking idiots.
Yeah,
It's not my fault
That's
then.
why they've Yeah, that's
Not
why
my
there is a
fault.
government. If we let people, all they'd be fucking idiots. They'd be eating turkey Twizzlers and fucking watching Big Brother and X Factor
But they
all
are
day,
doing. They are
and then
doing.
letting their kids run riot in
But
the
they
street.
are doing. Some families do just eat turkey Twizzlers.
Yeah.
There is little knobheads on bikes playing out till God knows what
Exactly.
hour. So it's happening anyway.
But
Yeah,
then-
but that's no argument, is it? It's happening anyway. That's no argument, Carl. It's what we talked about here. Social responsibility. The reason people get into politics is because they feel it's their obligation to change those things. This is your approach. I wash my hands of the whole affair.
Yeah, I'd hope that the people who don't wear an helmet sort of they do themselves in, and that's cleared them off. That's one problem sorted.
So you think you're being Darwinian? You're thinking survival of the fittest. The idiots will soon, but they don't, because they're not just the victims. The dead person isn't the victim. It's the a very good example is okay. We've talked about it before. You know, people who smoke know that it's dangerous. We know now that smoking gives you cancer, but why is that still legal? And yet people know that and they still smoke. Fat people know that they're going to get out of breath and clammy. And yet they still eat more. They get depressed, they're eating more. They know that they're going to be constipated for a year and a half, but they're still shoving in chocolate cake instead of carrots.
But because that's what I'm saying.
Why don't we stop them? Why don't we stop fat people eating? If you've got a smackhead and you really love him, you intervene, you grab him, you put in a cupboard, you go, you're not coming out. He goes mad for about a year, then he thanks you for it.
Yeah.
So lock fat people in a cupboard. And just
can't
put
get 'em
carrots
in.
under the door. What?
The thing is, there's got to be some
Carl,
responsibility.
grab Ricky. There's a cupboard over there.
You've got to take some responsibility, haven't you? Now, if it's your own fat kid, stick him in your cupboard. But what I'm saying is, as a counsellor, I'm not spending taxpayers' money on cupboards to put the fat kid in.
So, back at the Chosen 500 in ancient Greece, right, you're one of them. What other things?
I like that saying, the one about do to others as you'd like to be treated yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pop that on a leaflet, pop it through the door.
But you seem to be doing a lot of leafleting. That seems to be your entire governance seems to be guided by popping leaflets through doors. And I get a lot of leaflets, so I presume the rest of the country does, and it's not always working. So maybe sometimes you've got to instigate something a little bit more strong-minded than fucking leaflets, my friend. Maybe you've got to make a couple of laws.
This thing
You've got to
that every
stand up.
individual can go, how would I want to be treated? Well, I'd want someone to throw cake at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a greedy bastard.
I would want someone to steal my telly.
I'd probably start on the way you look.
Right, go on.
I'd just say, right, you know, make an effort, tidy up your house, and I'd have some sort of
I'm poor.
doesn't matter, you can still tidy up.
Can we get better houses then? Because
Well, look after the one that we've let you.
Yeah, but it's
get rid of
falling
that
down.
old mattress that's in your garden there. Clean the windows, and then we might give you a nicer one. At the moment, you don't deserve anything nicer. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to be honest with these people. Wake them up.
I like that.
Sure, you've got to be honest with them, you've got to wake them up through the heavy leafleting campaign.
yeah.
But do you see the problem with some of what you're saying, Carl, is that it's very hard to enforce that in
Yeah.
law because it seems unjust and unfair. You can't really start legislating against people's looks or whether they want... I mean, you have to keep your house tidy. I mean, who decides how tidy it has to be?
It's
the tidy police? I mean, that's a strange...
Well, hold on though. I like wearing sort of these denims. It expresses who I am, and I like wearing a beard because I just think it's natural. I don't really like shaving, and I like this sort of smell. I like this smell of BO. That's who I am as a person. So how can you impose that on me just to be part of society? Who are you to infringe my rights as an individual?
What do you want out of life?
Well, no, I think I just like to say I don't want to conform. I don't want to just shave and wear a suit and I keep myself to myself, and I like to just grow a beard and eat porridge.